Good morning, students. It's me, Miss Sanya, and today we are back with a new lesson. As you already know, that we have completed the previous lesson, which was with the name of Ideological Basis of Pakistan. So today we are starting with the new lesson. So let's get started. Now I have zoomed the screen so that you can see very clearly that what exactly the content is. Today we are starting with the topic Historical Background 1857 till 1935. In this we will discuss about the contributions of our forefathers, and we will also discuss about that how subcontinent was separated and how did we got Pakistan. Now moving towards the next slide. Before moving forward, I'm just coming back to the slide. As you can see in this picture, it is basically the background that how the war started and what exactly just happened in the war. Now today we will cover SLO number 2.1.1, which says that trace the origin and evolution of the two-nation theory with reference to socio-economic and political conditions of Indian Muslims from 1857 onwards. As I always mention you that kindly try to abstract the meaning from the question which is listed over here. Take out your notebooks and start noting the important points which I'm about to tell you. In this SLO, we will learn about that how two-nation theory was formed and what was the contribution in context of socio-economic, political conditions, what were the conditions at that time, and how did Indian Muslims both separated from subcontinent in 1857 and then onwards. It means that after 1857, what problems were there which was faced by Indian Muslims. Now, when I talk about War of Independence, there is a link which is given below. You have to watch the following video to better understand War of Independence. So what you have to do, just kindly copy this link, alright? And after copying this link, you can just paste it on another Google tab. You can watch the video and then come back to this slide. Now, moving towards the next slide. All right, till then, the screen is appearing over here. Let me just mention you one thing that when we talk about, whenever basically we talk about War of Independence, then War of Independence actually tells you about the contribution of your forefathers, is also tell you about that what was the important point due to which we considered War of Independence and why did we ask for another homeland. So all of these things play a very important role in context of War of Independence. All right. Now, when we talk about another slide, then before moving towards another slide, I would like to clear one thing over here, which you have to keep in mind, and that is, there are multiple questions which were included in your board examination, or there were multiple questions which were included in the past papers regarding War of Independence. They do ask you about two-nation theory, and they do ask you about that how did it happen and what were the consequences. And yes, the most important question, they actually ask you about this thing as well, that how did the war started and what was the socio-economic condition over there, and how did the situation change in the subcontinent, and what was the contribution by the Muslims which was over there. All right. So all of these things play a very important role in context of War of Independence. If the paper comes, if the question comes in your paper, then definitely you have to attempt the paper accordingly. All right. Now, when we talk about War of Independence, as you can see in this slide over here, War of Independence 1857, the introduction says that this war was fought in 1857 by Indians against the British in order to get rid of their domination. The major reason why did they fought the War of Independence was because they wanted another nation, because they wanted to practice their norms and values separately and independently. The first reason was that due to which they were demanding from the Britishers that they needed another land. Now, when we talk about number two, then it says that it is also given names as Indian Rebellion, Indian Mutiny, as well as Indian Revolt. There were multiple names on which War of Independence was called, as it is listed below. Rebellion basically means that you are asking for war, or you are asking for independence in context of war. All right. Indian Revolt and Indian Mutiny means the same. Now, the third point says that the main causes of the war were political, social, economic, military, and religious. When we talk about political, politics means government, social means that social interaction among individuals, for example, social gatherings. When we talk about economics, economics actually plays a very important role in context of money. When we talk about military, it means we are talking about those people who safeguard our lives, and those who have military weapons, those who contain weapons with them for our security. When I talk about religious rights, and as you already know, when we were living in the subcontinent, then we were not allowed to practice each and everything freely. Due to this reason, that religiously we needed another homeland to practice our rituals. All right, now let's move forward. Now, when I talk about political causes of the war, then you can see over here the introduction of Doctrine of Lapse 1852 to control the state, which did not natural here. Now, when I talk about the Doctrine of Lapse, as you already know in the previous classes which we have studied, let me give you a quick brief revision of this thing, and then we'll move forward. According to Doctrine of Lapse, for example, if the leader of the nation dies, so after that, if some else leader of another continent knows this thing that the leader have died, but still this news was hidden from that person. So whatever things that leader carries in context of land, in context of army, the one who have died, all of those belongings of that leader is given to another leader. This is basically doctrine of lapse, which we have studied in the previous classes. Mistreated the Mughal emperor. When I talk about political causes, then yes, see, if you're demanding for another nation, so there are multiple consequences which you have to face, which already Muslims have faced previously as well. Mughal emperor was mistreated. How there were conspiracies going on. There were spies. Um, they were actually spies into that Mughal emperor who delivered their news to another emperor, to create misunderstandings, to create conspirational things over there so that they can win the war. All right. So these all things happened before in Mughal emperor. When I talk about the third point, annexation of Punjab, Sindh, and Northwest Frontier Province, annexation means that you are separating each state with another state, and you are being dominated over there. You want another state, so you are actually fighting for that right, and you're fighting for that thing. And once if you have achieved that state, so automatically there is your rule, and others who are living into that state, they need to follow your rule. All right, so annexation, if I talk about annexation, then annexation is the fight and then the rule. It talks about two things. So all of these provinces, which you can see over here, they were annexated in the past. Now, when I talk about the fourth point, it says heavy taxes on landlords. When I talk about heavy taxations, then I'm talking about the area of subcontinent. Actually, I'm talking about in context of subcontinent, that when the Muslims were living in the subcontinent, so they do have to pay a higher amount of taxation to live over there. And if they are not paying the higher amount of taxation to their landlords, landlords are actually those people who are owning the land, and tenants are those people who are living onto that land. So if you will not pay taxation, then definitely they'll take the land back from you. The last point is, in political regards, British officers insulted the native people. The major reason why British officers insulted the native people was because they always wanted to show the domination on all of those people who were living over there. Now, when I talk about social causes of the war, then social causes of the war means your surrounding, that how you are maintaining your things into your surrounding, and how you are socializing with other people. The first point is oppression of poor people. When I talk about oppression of poor people, then it actually means that you are being dominated on poor people,